All right, we're jumping right into a huge topic today. What happens when artificial intelligence crashes head-on into our schools? Is it just a tool for cheating, or is it actually a spotlight showing us something much, much bigger that's been broken for a while? Let's get into it.
Let's be real. This isn't some shocking future prediction anymore. For millions of students, this is just Tuesday. And the argument we're going to explore is that this might be the most honest thing happening in our education system right now. So, what is really going on inside our classrooms? This isn't about a few bad apples trying to cut corners. No, we're talking about a massive, widespread new norm. It's like an open secret that's created this strange, unspoken deal between students and teachers. And that deal has a name, education theater. It's this idea that everyone is just, going through the motions. Students turn in AI-generated work they've barely even glanced at, and teachers put a grade on it. Actual learning, that kind of takes a back seat. Think about it like airport security theater. It looks real, it has all the props, but the real substance just isn't there. And this isn't just about the students. This quote from a professor somewhere says it all, doesn't it? It's hilarious, yeah, but it's also pretty chilling. It's a huge signal of just how normal this whole thing has become from the other side of the desk. So this brings us to the big question, is an entire generation of students just morally broken? Well, the perspective we're digging into today says no. It's not a moral collapse. It's a fundamental design failure of the education system itself. It's basically the prisoner's dilemma, but playing out in homeroom. You know the one. If everybody else is using AI to get an edge, even the so-called good students feel this intense, rational pressure to do the same thing, just to keep up. It's not about being bad, it's a systemic trap. And here's the kicker. This is not a new problem. Not at all. 100 years ago, Maria Montessori absolutely nailed the core issue. The argument is that AI didn't create this feeling of disengagement, it just ripped the Band-Aid off, exposing how much of the work students are given feels totally pointless to them. So how are schools responding to all this? Well, pretty predictably, with a major crackdown. But this strategy of just piling on more punishments and more surveillance, it might actually be making everything worse. You can almost see the playbook. Step 1, the guilt trips. You're only cheating yourself. When that doesn't work, you bring in the AI detectors, which we know are flawed. Then you get laptop bans and make everyone write essays by hand. And finally, just more and more surveillance, turning classrooms into these weird, high-security zones. This quote from a professor at Princeton just says it all. The whole relationship has changed. It's not about teaching and mentoring anymore. It's about enforcement. Educators feel like they're being forced to become sheriffs, policing assignments they don't even believe in. So here's the bottom line on that strategy. It completely misses the point. All these crackdowns are focused on the tool, the AI, instead of the real underlying problem. From this viewpoint, AI isn't the disease. It's just a symptom of an educational model that was already sick. And this is where things get really serious. Because if we keep going down this road, we could be staring down a total collapse in the value of, everything school is supposed to represent. Seriously, think about it. The whole economic engine of education is built on trust. Trust that a grade, a GPA, a college degree, that it all actually means something. But what happens when that trust just disappears? When colleges can't trust transcripts and employers can't trust degrees, the whole system starts to look pretty shaky. And hey, this isn't some sci-fi future. We've already had a little preview. After COVID gave everyone a front row seat to how online school actually worked, 1.3 million students left the public school system. When people lose faith in the product, they start looking for an exit. Okay, but what if this crisis is actually a huge opportunity? What if AI is acting like a giant filter or a stress test, forcing us to figure out what part of education actually matters? What's left standing after the test? Because here's what's left when a machine can do all the boring, busy work. You're left with the truly human stuff: creativity, working together, solving messy, real-world problems, thinking critically. These are the skills that become more valuable in the age of AI, not less. You see, the old factory model of school was all about compliance and memorizing facts. But decades of research tells us that's not how people work. What really drives us to learn and grow is autonomy, having control, developing real competence, and feeling a sense of purpose. And the research on this is crystal clear. You want to know the best antidote to cheating? It's not more surveillance cameras. It's making the work itself so interesting, so relevant, and so challenging that students actually want to do it for themselves. So maybe the right move here isn't to fight AI. Maybe it's to let it do its thing. Let it burn down all the meaningless busy work. Let it clear out all the dead wood in the system so that we have the space to build something stronger and, frankly, more human in its place. And that leaves us with this one final, incredibly powerful question. It's not just a question for teachers, it's for all of us, because how we answer it could totally redefine what we think school is even for.